Tigers 17-0. Welcome inside, back to the studios in Sioux Falls. Tom and Jason, and a little abbreviated Varsity
Good to be
Sports
back
Live.
together, Tom.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, it is good.
Let's go to some South Dakota highlights.
Let's get into it. We had a big night, a lot of rivalries, a couple 1 versus 2. This is an East Side Sioux Falls rivalry, Tom.
Lincoln and Washington tonight, and I, for one, was a little taken aback by the outcome of this one, but Tommy Thompson to Robert Hutchinson, and Lincoln is off and running.
Second touchdown in 3 weeks for the sophomore, big play, and then first play of the game or first possession of the game for Washington. They cough it up. This is all Lincoln early.
Pats get it back. That is Isaiah Robinson.
6 plays later, I mean, they just methodically pounded the ball down the field. And then Tommy said, "We're not done, guys. Let's keep piling on."
Thompson hooks up with Ty Schaefer. They did that 3 times tonight. And were you more surprised by that Lincoln scored as much as they did, or that Washington did not score in this game?
By far that Washington did not score. We know that Lincoln has a fantastic offense, and they couldn't get it going last week. Well, they definitely got it going tonight. Ty Schaefer had a big night. Tommy Thompson did his normal things. He didn't even have to run the ball, but Washington couldn't get anything. 6 first downs on the night for Washington.
All right. Patriots get to 2-1. Yankton and Pierre tonight. Pierre had won 18 straight games coming into this one. They beat Yankton 63-0 last year, but that winning streak ended tonight.
This thing was back and forth too. Yankton had big play after big players. Carson Zarbach taking it down to the 6-yard line early in the game, and they got up by a couple scores early on. This is the MO right here, Trevor Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald goes in here. It's 15-7. Yankton led 22-7, and then the Govs come back here. Lincoln Keenholz is their quarterback this year. He hooks up a couple of long touchdown passes here, and they tie it at 22.
You can see why they like Keenholz. See, he can make that big play. Unfortunately, they turned it over 5 times tonight, and we're going to get to the downfall a little bit, but this is the comeback. They got back 29-29 at half. And Corbin Solar.
Yeah, Rugby Riken, their sophomore quarterback. They play a couple of quarterbacks, but Corbin Solar, this long run, he was an escape artist on a later touchdown run. Yankton, after it was tied 29-29, like you said, at halftime, the Bucks scored 23 straight points, and they win at 52-29 to end Pierre's 18-game win streak.
This is the 3rd week in a row now that Yankton scored 50 points or more. Watch out, 11AA. We're not going to be talking, smack about you guys now. You've put a couple good weeks together.
All right, Bucks to 3-0 on the season. T and West Central tonight in Class 11A.
Surprised a little bit on this one too, but T got it going offensively. Austin Lake, the second-year starting quarterback for T, he shows off his legs on this one.
Yeah, they had 3 guys who really got it done. 53 yards on that run by Austin Lake. They get out to the 8-0 lead on the road, and then Caden Johnson.
Yeah, last week he went for 150 yards. Tonight, another big night, gets it to the outside. Give credit to the guys up front, though. They totally dominated the line of scrimmage tonight, and it showed they're way better up front than anybody else in 11A right now.
14-0 Titans. West Central could not get anything rolling offensively. Fumble there. T's all over it, and that leads to a Garrett Colbeck touchdown for T. He had a couple of those tonight. It was 28-0 at halftime, and 41-0 is the final.
Yeah, a couple good ones in 11A. This was one that wasn't close, and Dell Rapids was number 2 coming into the night. That wasn't close either.
Yeah, Dell Rapids beat Madison 41-14 tonight. All right, let's go to North Dakota, Jandy.
Let's do it.
We got the Battle of West Fargo. Cheyenne and West Fargo both 2-0 coming into this game. And this was all this man right here, Barika Penu, with his first touchdown of the night.
Yeah, this has been fun. West Fargo Cheyenne starting to come back in this rivalry a little bit. They've won, including last year's 27-0 win in the semifinal.
They turned it over a bunch in the first half, too. They had a fumble there by Penu. They had Josh Balstead had an interception there for West Fargo to keep it a 7-0 game at halftime. And then Penu and Cheyenne turn it on in the second half. This is his 3rd touchdown of the night, made it 21-0. He had 4 touchdowns in the pouring rain as the game got into the 4th quarter. Penu bouncing it outside here. He's got 8 touchdowns in the first 3 games of the season now. He had 210 yards, 4 scores tonight, and Cheyenne all over West Fargo.
Yeah, the teams that could hold on to the ball tonight, I mean, there was rain in eastern part of North Dakota and eastern part of South Dakota. The teams that didn't turn it over are the ones that won tonight.
A little soundbite here from the winners from West Fargo Cheyenne.
By the way, so we had some obstacles that we had to go through, controlling the ball, not turnovering the ball. But once we got that down, we figured out how to hold the ball, and that's my bad on the turnovers. But you know, once we figured that out, we knew we could roll on them.
Beat them on their home turf. It's huge for our momentum for going against Stanley next week. Homecoming is big.
That is 4 in a row now for Sheyenne over West Fargo. Shanley, by the way, beat Fargo North tonight 26-6. South at Davies. And this was all about Colton Almy tonight for Davies. Big night on the ground for him. Touchdown there to make it 7-0. You see the rain coming down again. And then this is Peyton Kessel for Fargo South. Strolls in there to make it 14-7 early on. And then Davies goes back to Colton Almy again. This one breaks for 45 yards. And the Eagles got a 21-7 lead. South, though, comes back right here. Bakar Fula is speedy and scores. It's 21-14 at halftime. South came back, scored a touchdown, but they missed the extra point, and Davies pulls it out 21-20.
And that's the first time that the Bruins start 0-3 since 2011. A tough start for them, a couple of tough losses. Davies looking really good so far, undefeated in the EDC. 131
yards on the ground there for Colton Almy. Grand Forks Red River, Grand Forks Central. Central won that one tonight 23-0 over Grand Forks Red River. A couple other scores from Class 2A in North Dakota. Bismarck St. Mary's, #1 team, beat Hillsboro Central Valley tonight 14-0.
Yeah, North Dakota finishing up a good night. And then in South Dakota, we had a 1 versus 2 in 9A. Canistota-Freeman was at home against Howard. That one didn't go overtime. It didn't go double overtime, Tom.
Triple overtime. Howard with a 2-point conversion to beat Canistota-Freeman in triple overtime. All right, still more to come here. Second half to come with Harrisburg and Rapid City Stevens. We'll be back.